State versus Richard Bearden Jr. Richard Bearden Jr. charged with drug paraphernalia, delivery of controlled substances. Let's see where we're at on 18-91. Is this for plea? Is that correct? Or arraignment, I should say.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll enter a plea of not guilty. I believe you'll appoint us in Mr. Bearden's matter.
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not guilty. And you know when we'll be having pretrial?
April 26th.
We'll have a pretrial on April 26th at 10 o'clock. Anything else?
Judge, just for Mr. Bearden's information, I've spoken to probation and parole, and they will be filing a probation violation. So once that's filed, we'll get you back in front of a judge and try to get this resolved, both cases, okay?
Yes, may I ask that my hold be released?
No, they're about to file it, so they haven't filed it yet. Once they file it, we can get back in front of Judge Putman, and we'll have to go from there, but they're in the process of filing it right now, okay?
Okay,
Well, that's all we can do right now. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
State versus Virginia Birch, 18-95. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance with purpose to deliver. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, do you have a lawyer?
Actually filled out a public defender application yesterday.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. She says she filled out an application.
Judge, we did not get that application this morning. I was just left there with all the fresh applications, but I do know Miss Birch, and I am assured that she will qualify for our services as she has in the past. So I'll go ahead and enter an appearance and enter a plea of not guilty for her.
We'll enter the plea of not guilty and have a pretrial on April 26th at 10 o'clock.
Could we make sure that we're clear on what her bond is, Your Honor, just while we're in front of you today?
Okay? $7,500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may stand aside, ma'am. Thank you. State versus Jasanda Collins, 18-94, burglary is the charge.
Ms. Collins bonded out on the charges.
Okay. Now, do you have a copy of the warrant, the served warrant?
We do not.
Neither do I. I'll order that Miss Collins appear before Judge Webb on March 8th, 9:30 a.m. State versus Anthony DeChow, 18-93 and 18-92. Like theft. Sir, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm looking at 18-93. He needs to be arraigned.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
We'll enter the plea of not guilty. We'll have a pretrial on April 26th at 10 o'clock. Let me look at 1892. I guess he needs to enter a plea in that case also.
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not guilty. We can transfer both the Division III docket if Judge Webb agrees.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Judge, I spoke to Mr. DeChow this morning, and I've spoken with his parole officer since then, and I just need to let him know that there is a parole hold at this time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, sir. You may stand aside. State versus Jason Tomes, 18-84. Theft by receiving. Sir, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And he needs to be arraigned, it appears.
I will enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
We'll enter the plea of not guilty. I'll order that he appear before Judge Webb on March 8th at 9:30. Anything else?
Judge, I will speak to you about bond with the prosecutor at the break, but otherwise at this point there's not.
Very well.
Jason, if we can do what we said, I'll notify the jail, okay? What we had talked about this morning, I'll try to get that done, okay?
Okay, at this point, I mean, we can't get it resolved as of right now?
Not at this moment. There's some things that I didn't know when we spoke this morning that I know now. So I'll need to talk to the prosecutor and the judge in chambers, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jason.
You have a great day.
State versus Bethany Marshall, 1888 residential burglary, 1890 breaking or entering, 1889 theft. Ma'am, I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you in 18-88. Is that an arraignment?
I believe they all are, Judge.
How does she plead?
Not guilty.
In all three cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll enter the pleas of not guilty. I'll have her appear before Judge Webb on March 8th at 9:30. And I guess we can transfer those to Judge Webb if he's agreeable, since two of them are his cases. Thank you, ma'am. You may stand aside.
Bethany, the judge that you'll be in front of will be here next week, and they'll take up your bond at that time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
James Colson, 18-79, domestic battery. Sir, I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. We'll have a pretrial in your case on April 26th.
Judge, with
10
regard
o'clock.
to,
Yes.
I'm sorry. With regard to his bond, I've met with James this morning, and he's requested that if the court approve it, that he be allowed to enter into Care Center Ministries here in Mountain Home. The court's familiar with that program and the requirements they put on their residents. We would ask that he be allowed to do that, and with the understanding that if he was to leave, he would need to go back to the county jail.
I don't know.
Judge, this gentleman stabbed his mother with a knife.
Just having met Mr. Colson this morning, I'm not sure exactly about his criminal history, but I do know that he's lived here for over a decade, does not live with his mother, has a residence in Cotter, and would, understanding the allegations while not verifying that any of them are true, that he's not to be around her. That's not a
Right.
problem, Judge.
Your Honor, this man can be in Care Ministries for 15 minutes and he can walk away. That's the problem. That's not a lockup facility. We've had people leave there and be gone overnight before we've gotten word of it. In fact, we knew about it before I guess they did. So we got a victim here.
I'd rather not release him just basically on his own.
Judge, that being the case, I believe his bond is $5,000, or I'm sorry, $10,000 right now. Would the court consider a reduction of that bond?
That's a fair bond, given the allegations. I'd like to leave it at that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may stand aside, sir. State versus Dean Thompson, drug case 17-139, 17-136.
Your Honor, Dean Thompson is in federal custody in Fort Smith.
Okay,
Actually, Your Honor, he's in Forest City. Arrangements are being made to transfer him up here. If we could have him reappear the next time the court's going to be here.
okay, March 15th, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State versus Charles Franks, 17-424.
Judge, I can make this easy on the court. He needs to be brought back in front of Judge Webb next week.
Okay, we'll have you appear before Judge Webb on 17-424, 16-190.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, March 8th, 9:30. State versus Christopher Scalise, 16-193, burglary, theft, drug paraphernalia, other charges. So I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you.
No, just this.
He's going to petition filed to revoke his probationary period. This is who signed the judgment.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Scalise about that this morning, and at this juncture, we'll enter a plea of not true.
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not true. Let me look at the petition. We'll set the hearing for March 15th, 10 o'clock or soon thereafter as we can get to it.
Judge, I'm going to, I spoke with Mr. Scalise about his bond. I don't know if one is set right now, but I do need to speak to his probation officer directly about that. He's not here this morning.
Okay,
So Chris, what I'll do, I need to talk to Bobby. I need to talk to Chad. He's not here this morning, but I'll call him and we'll figure out the bond situation and then we'll let the jail know as soon as I can figure it out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
you may stand aside, thank you. Okay, this is Vernon Henson, you said? Okay, we'll go to his case then. 15297, firearms for certain persons and other charges. This is a revocation petition. Sir, I've appointed public defender's office to represent you. And where are we at on this?
I believe it's first appearance, Your Honor.
Okay,
We'll plead not true.
we'll enter the plea of not true. We'll set the hearing for March 15th at 10 o'clock as soon as we can get to it. Anything else?
Not today, Your Honor.
Okay. You may stand aside, sir. Is Mr. Gunter in jail or,
Gunter?
Eric?
Yes, he's still in jail.
Okay, we've got him on the docket if he's there. 15326 is Eric Gunter, non-support, and we're here for a revocation. Good morning. Sir, there's been a petition filed to revoke your probationary period. Do you have a lawyer?
No, sir. I don't reckon.
Okay,
Judge, we have represented Mr. Gunter in the past.
all right.
If he would fill out an application, if you'll have him reappear next week in front of Judge Webb, we could have him. He needs to do that anyway. It's a Division 4 case, I think.
Okay, let me make sure who signed it. I think Judge Webb signed the sentencing order, but let me make sure. Fill out an application to the Public Defender's Office, sir, and I'll have you appear before Judge Webb next week, March 8th at 9:30. That's all we can do today. Thank you, sir.
Eric, between now and then, fill out an application, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
State versus Alicia Pierce, 18-77. Forgery, several counts, theft. She be in jail? There's no bond information. Alias warrant shall issue. Bond defending forfeit, give notice of surety. Hunter, is that Pfeiffer? 18-75. Possession of purpose to deliver controlled substances, drug paraphernalia, other charges.
Judge, it appears like he's in rehab in Newport. From our perspective, there's no action to take today. Scheduling order's been issued and it's been provided to him.
That's fine with us, Your Honor. A young man, looks like he needs to get a drug habit.
State versus Daniel Contreras, 18-71. Possession of controlled substances, paraphernalia.
I think Mr. Cooper represents him, Judge, primarily.
Cooper put in on a waiver of arraignment.
He was ordered to appear here by Judge Webb today, but there was a waiver, I agree. The alias warrant shall issue, bond forfeit, give notice to the surety. Todd Plumley, 1869. Theft of property.
Your Honor, I'd like to enter my appearance on behalf of Mr. Plumley. He entered into an inpatient treatment facility yesterday. I'm providing proof to the state. I'd ask the court to excuse his appearance today. I'm not sure if a scheduling order's been out, but his treatment does not need to impact the current scheduling order if there is one.
April 26, 10 o'clock is a pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I may be excused?
Yes, sir. Mark Zahn, is that right? Zahn?
Zidane?
Zidane,
Yes, sir.
18-67. Drugs and firearms, drug paraphernalia, shoplifting. I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. And let's see. You already entered a plea of not guilty. Your next appearance is April 26, 10 o'clock for pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Stephanie Elliott, 17-347. Possession of controlled substances.
Your Honor, my attorney, Mr. Norman Webb, he had a doctor's appointment this morning. He told you he'd be here at 11.
Who is this now?
Norman Wilbur.
Okay. We'll call your case later then.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor.
State versus Dennis Lawton, 17-285. Possession of controlled substances.
He's here, Your Honor. I represent Mr. Lawton. There's no pretrial steps to take today. When's it set for trial?
I don't know. It's supposed to be for a plea. Is it set you?
No, it was set just for a plea.
We'll set it for, when am I setting those cases? March? Is it 20th or?
19th, 20th, 21st. The 19th became available.
Okay, March 19th, at 9 o'clock.
That's when his trial's set for?
Uh-huh.
Can we come back to his case? I've got to talk to Carrie.
That'd be fine.
All right, thank you.
State versus Catherine Cross, 17-177. Charged with possession of controlled substances, paraphernalia also.
Judge, we're here obviously for a change of plea today.
Ma'am, I'm looking at a police statement and some terms, conditions. Have you gone over these documents?
Yes, sir.
Have you signed them?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what's in these documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the charges against you and the range of penalties if you're convicted?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of methamphetamine, possession of oxycodone, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia?
Yes, sir.
By changing your plea, you're giving up your right to trial, you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you been promised anything other than what's set out in these documents?
No, sir.
Have you been pressured to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Are you guilty of these crimes?
Yes, sir.
What's the factual basis for this case?
Judge, it appears on April 17th of last year, this lady would have been stopped in a traffic stop. At that time, she had in her pants methamphetamine, a glass smoking pipe, a green leafy substance suspected to be marijuana, 5 white colored pills, and a straw in her purse. She admitted under Miranda that those were Roxys, which is slang for Roxicet or oxycodone.
Okay. Is that true, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Does she have any prior drug offenses?
Yes, she has a lot of prior drug offenses.
Quite a while back. Been
Dating
over
from-
10 years.
Dating from 2006.
A long time ago.
She's actually been sent twice to prison on manufacturing
Once. Oh, well, I did go to rehab. I'm sorry.
and delivery of illegal narcotics. Judge, may I approach?
Yeah, yes. What do you think about the recommendation? We'll take this. State versus Tammy Santoro, 17-143. Delivery of controlled substances through certain facilities.
Judge, there's no action to take in Ms. Santoro's case today. We'll leave it as scheduled to trial.
Okay. Stay in contact with your lawyer.
Yep.
State versus Stephen Sipper, 17-141.
Judge, I believe Mr. Cooper represents him, and there's no action to take.
Delivery of controlled substances. Stay in contact with your lawyer.
Okay, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
State versus Patricia Tunicor, 17137, delivery of controlled substances.
Judge, we've been unable to come to an agreement in this matter. I think what we're gonna do is enter a plea of guilty to the court. We can do that plea today if the court would like, however, we would like to have a sentencing hearing. If you'd rather do it all at one time, that's fine as well.
When is the trial set?
I think the 20th.
Yeah, the 20th.
This is good on March 15th,
Just do everything that day.
10 o'clock, or soon thereafter.
Okay.
Judge, are you ordering that we have
Before
a
that?
pretrial, we have a pre-sentencing
Yes.
report? Mr. Hicks, can you see the
Is there anyone else here for criminal court's name I haven't called?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, what is your name, sir?
My name is Dale Costello, sir.
Ma'am.
Costello, Costello.
Bill Costello.
And my bail bondsman informed me that I missed the court date last week, sir. I apologize.
Yeah, haven't been before Judge Webb.
Yes, sir.
Do we know his case number?
No, sir, at the time, his case was not set up,
Okay.
so it's a good chance right now.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Just right there, whoever's at the window there. Did you find it, Judge? 17334, I think, is. We represent him, Judge. I think there was an issue with his appearance on February 22nd.
Well, his presently ordered to appear on March 22nd. The deadline, do you want to appear for that?
No, Your Honor, is this your case? If we, what I'll do is, I think he's here because the FDA was issued by Division 4. Would you rather him appear next week?
That'd probably be safest.
Your Honor, I've become caretaker for my uncle who's a disabled Vietnam vet. And it's very difficult for me. Matter of fact, I have to be at the Little Rock VA next week. I would like some more time in this matter due to his health issues.
Be here on March 22nd at 9:30.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Alicia Pierce, 18-77, forgery, see that? And you got a lawyer.
No, sir. We're going,
Hire a lawyer, we'll make application to the public defender's office.
She has a lawyer, Paul Bayless.
Paul Bayless?
Yes, yes.
So you've hired Mr. Bayless?
Yes.
Okay.
He wasn't aware of the court today.
Okay.
Judge, Mr. Bayless is here.
Okay, I tell you what, we'll call your case after the break and see if we can find Mr. Bayless.